Good morning, everyone. It's early here, still dark. Cece already went to work. She's a substitute at the school, the high school, and they love her there. She hardly gets a day off anymore. Oh, and the children are so sick, and the people are just so sick with the flu and COVID and strep and I don't know what else out there. It's just ah. I mean, the best advice that I can give as a herbal lady is, read up on how to strengthen your immune system. Right? We're designed to overcome bacterias and viruses, but it seems like in today's age, just our immune systems are so compromised. Right? Yes. No, I wonder if they have something where they can check how well your immune system's working, right? They know about everything else. They can check everything else in your system, right, for problems. Be kind of nice to know, right? Okay, so it's a deficiency of all kinds of things. Well, okay, right there. But how about in the whole? How's my whole immune system doing? Be nice for people to know yours runs about 20%. You need to do something. Oh, yours is just about 100%. Oh, that's why I'm not sick. I'm not sick because I don't go anywhere. All right, if people are going places and come back and could bring home sickness. That's one thing with my sissy-in-law. She's just really conscientious. Knowing that I got my sister-in-law at home who, man, she doesn't want to get sick. So she's, wherever she works, she keeps still the mask on, or she keeps her distance, and is really, she comes home and she washes up right away. And I appreciate that. Yes. I cook for her and keep the house clean and watch her dog. Nice give and take, yes. We still wash our dishes. I do most of that too. Again, other people are doing other things, and some of us just have our little uh, chores here. We just do. Okay, and so I wash the dishes most of the time, not all the time. And one thing I don't like is when people put knives into and it's all hand wash. We don't have a dishwasher. Put knives into the bowl that we have where I wash them in, because I've poked myself before looking for my sponge or the rag, and so the knives always go on the back, separate, not into the bowl before they get washed. And that's just a nice way to make sure people don't cut themselves. Right? Yes, it's right. A little thing to think about. Do people think about things like that when they're somewhere else, or even in their own home? Just throw your dishes there. Ooh, my stomach just gurgled. And be aware that another person's going to wash these dishes, so I'm going to make sure I don't. Right? Or the glass is the same thing, right? Don't stack them on top of each other, and put them somewhere a little farther back where they can't fall down. And also, again, don't push them but don't put them in the sink. Right? Again, if and because they can break, some break easily, don't they? It's little things, right? Yes. When you're out on the road, you just make sure you get from point A to point B in your car, or are you being careful that you have other people? Are you aware of other people with you on the road? Do you feel that other people need to watch out for you, or are you willing to watch out for others? Yes. It's these simple things, that kind of let you know a little bit about yourself. I watch people and it tells me some about them as well. Right? Yes? Okay. Just saying. Huh? All right. So we're on 47. well, I must be hungry or something. Oh, I made this. I love to cook, I really do. And of course, one loves to cook even more when you have all the ingredients, this, that you need for a specific dish, right? Well, I most of the time don't have that. Oh, not because I can't have it. It's just I look around at what I have. Why would I bring in more if I already got plenty to take care of, right? Oh, just because I have a hankering for something specific. So I've been watching this show, and there's a lot of cooking going on in it, and I'm just like, I'm salivating. Okay, oh my God, this looks so good. And the whole time I was watching this show, while I was doing some other things, I'm going, what am I going to cook tonight? And that was last night, and I had some things already out. I'm going, I know what I'm going to do. So I made a stuffed chicken. There were chicken breasts, so no bones or anything. I made stuffed chicken breast with ham. I closed it off and then put a ham piece around it and stuck a toothpick in it, and then topped it at the end. Then I took it out one more time, topped it with pineapple and some more little ham pieces. And oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. I could have added some cheese to that, but I think that would have been too much. And for the stuffing, I just used what I had, and all kinds of different things. Came out so delicious. And then I made a rice with amaranth seeds in it and a little butter. Oh gosh, And I have so many of the pumpkins, and most people think that, oh, what do you do, pumpkin soup and pumpkin pie? You can do so much more with pumpkin. So what I did is I carved the pumpkin, and of course I always keep the seeds. Wash the seeds, put them in the oven, and roast them nice and brown, and then I put them aside, and I make pumpkin flour out of that. Then you can use every seed, even if there isn't, or every hull that doesn't even have a seed in it, because the hull goes with it to make the pumpkin flour. It's delicious too. I just made here I go now, I'm talking about cooking, a peasant bread, and put a bunch of that in it, that flour, and oh my gosh, it was so good. It's just, and if people says, what's the recipe? Because I can't really tell you. It's anything that I cook, I never cook it the same way again. It's just what it is. But so I cut them up, and I had little square pieces of pumpkin, and then I made me a soft dough, or a dough. It was kind of like a pancake dough, but thicker. And then I put the pieces in, and I mashed them all up around in it. And then I took my wok and put some oil in it, and I fried them in there. Oh my gosh! Then I had some chestnuts that I had roasted, also picked myself. That which you have to keep in the freezer. If you don't, then you have a lot of wormy stuff going on. But if you put them in the freezer, the eggs don't ever hatch or anything, can't develop, right? So in any case, which most chestnuts are infected with. And I had some chestnuts left over that I didn't eat, that I had roasted, and I cut them up, and I put them in just part of the dough, just to see, again, how's that going to taste like? And then with part of the pumpkin and the dough, and I put those in, and then fried those up like, oh my gosh, so good. It was so good. Anyway, so there it is. Yeah. So we had a wonderful dinner last night. I was like, this is better than 5-star. I think I got a Michelin 6 here. Yeah. Anywho. So, let's get to it here. I should make some of the cooking videos again. But the thing is, there's so many of them already out there, right? Yeah. And I don't know how to, not make it 2 hours long or whatever, or for however long I'm cooking. It'd just be, how boring is that? So, anywho. But yeah, gosh, one can do so many things with in so many different variations with whatever you already have at home, right? Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Inspired. I got inspired. Okay, I'm always inspired. I always think, what could I make really? Some things turn out really good, right? Okay, then you watch. Okay, so I love the baking show, right? The British baking show. So here is Paul and Prue, and you taste, and they evaluate, okay, how well has this been baked, or this taste, this not. So we kind of here now, we have adapted and have watched that with my brother-in-law 4 days. and here we are. I make the bread. He says, "Did you prove it properly? Let me see." How's the flavor? Is there a deep flavor in there, or did you mess up with that? The thing, do the flavors mend together? It's like, it's fun. It's just fun, right? Yeah. Anyway, so what can I say? It's just our life here. What can I say? All right, let's get to Genesis 47. Pharaoh grants an audience. So Joseph went and told Pharaoh, "My father and brothers have arrived from Canaan with their flocks and cattle and all their possessions. Here they are, in the region of Goshen." Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to go and check. It came to my mind last night to check out why the Egyptians would be afraid of shepherds. I didn't do that yet. I wrote it down. You didn't check yesterday. I was busy otherwise yesterday. Oh, you guys want to see what I made? Oh, I love it. I got to go show you guys. Oh. Ooh, my leg hurts. Sorry about the limp thing. I made this for my husband for Christmas. Surely he won't watch this video. Look, what do you guys think this is? Look at the shape of it. It's the only one I've ever found like this out there. What's it look like? And then I made this cork for it. I've cleaned it out really nice. Look at this. My brother-in-law, who's a carpenter, he helped me make sure I got this done right. And I'm glad he helped me. I think I would have messed this up. So that we had to somehow get that cork in there. You got to remember there is a air pocket here, or the cork is a flat. And I thought, how am I going to do this so this really will stick, right? And then, how do I figure? And he, of course, being a carpenter, having done all kinds of things, he's this artist carpenter. He helped me make sure that we get this done. Look at this. Isn't this the coolest? Then I made this to go with it. I just braided this. And then I'm going to figure out how to, there's a way to do this. I have to go and look it up again. See? And then you put that around somehow, whatever. And it's a drinking gourd. I made my husband a drinking gourd. He loves things like this. He just old-timey ways of, right? And the one thing, though, that I didn't know, I had to go and look that up. But I actually found it this time. On how to make it a drinking gourd, and you use beeswax. I haven't done that yet. I'm thinking I don't want to mess it up. I only have so much beeswax, but I had some. So again, it didn't have to. The cork, I must have saved this cork. I don't know from how long ago. It was perfect. It's one of those champagne corks, right? Not sure where I got, but I found, while I was looking for something else yesterday to work on this, I found that one, and it's perfect. It works just perfect. It fits. See? Huh? Yeah, yeah. So excited. I've been thinking about this for about 2 years now. I've had this gourd for about 2 years now on how can I make this into a drinking gourd, and finally this year it's coming together. I am so tickled. I'm so tickled. I'm so happy about this. And then, yeah, put this around. We'll see. I'm not sure if I want to finish it up on the outside or just leave it as it is in its natural state. We'll see. Anywho, so cool, isn't it? So cool. Anyway, all right, Daniela, get back to work. What are you doing? Back to reading. Why did that even come to my mind? Huh, interesting. All right. He had taken 5 of his brothers, and he now presented them to the Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked his brothers, "What is your occupation?" And they gave Pharaoh the answer, "Your servants are shepherds, like our fathers before us." They went on to tell Pharaoh, "We have come to stay in this country for the time being, since there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, Canaan being stricken with famine. So now please allow your servants to settle in the region of Goshen." Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "They may stay in the region of Goshen, and if you know of any capable men among them, put them in charge of my own livestock." Wow. Again, we don't know which Pharaoh this is. We don't know, are these stories just kind of, I don't know, handed down, right? By the Israelites, right, from the time on, generations of generations, handed down stories on how this all came to be. But if we go with the story, that Pharaoh had so much trust in Joseph and even his people, right? Yes? All right. I got someone here now. And how does God work together with the people? I think this is more it, right? Even though you come from different sides, you come from even different beliefs, this, that, but when it comes to the survival of the people in the right, proper way, right? People are put in the places where they really excel. Right? Yes? All right. Well, then. Oh. Oh, here's another version. Oh, we have 2 versions. Oh, that's the first time I've ever seen that in a Bible, tell you the truth. This Bible, though, I've had it for a long time, and you can see and how I studied in it, this and that. I've never read this Bible from the front to the I've read Bibles like this from the front to the end. Yes? Now here, in this Bible, and there's a lot more in this Bible than is in the other ones, there's another version of this story. Jacob and his sons went to Egypt, where Joseph was. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, heard about this and said to Joseph, "Your father and brothers have come to you. The country of Egypt is open to you. Settle your father and brothers in the best region." Joseph brought his father and presented him to Pharaoh. Jacob paid his respects to Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked Jacob, "How many years have you lived?" Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The years of my stay on earth add up to 130 years. Few and unhappy my years have been, falling short of my ancestors' years in their stay on earth." Jacob then took leave of Pharaoh and withdrew from his presence. Joseph then settled his father and brothers, giving them land holdings in Egypt, in the best part of the country, the region of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had ordered. Oh, I see why Ramses came up as well as the Pharaoh maybe, but that's just a region there at the time. Anyway, Joseph provided his father, brothers, and all his father's family with food down to the least of them. Oh, well, Joseph's agrarian policy. Agrarian. Oh, I know what that means. And on all the earth around there was now no food anywhere, for the famine had grown very severe, and Egypt and Canaan were both weak with hunger. Joseph accumulated all the money to be found in Egypt and Canaan in exchange for the supplies being handed out, and put the money in Pharaoh's palace. When all the money in Egypt and Canaan was exhausted, all the Egyptians came to Joseph, pleading, "Give us food, unless you want us to die before your eyes. For our money has come to an end." Joseph replied, "Hand over your livestock, and I shall issue you food in exchange for your livestock." Well, that's food, isn't it? If your money has come to an end. Well, that's a confusing one. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them food in exchange for horses and livestock, whether sheep or cattle, and for donkeys. Thus he saw them through that year with food in exchange for all their livestock. That's a weird one. I'm not getting that one. When that year was over, they came to him the next year and said to him, "We cannot hide it from my lord. The truth is our money has run out, and the livestock is in my lord's possession. There is nothing left for my lord except our bodies and our land. Oh, if we and our land are not to perish, take us and our land in exchange for food." Oh, interesting. I think we're just finding out on how the Israelites ended up being the slaves of the Egyptians. All the people. Well, the Egyptians too? I'm not getting this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. "And we with our land will become Pharaoh's serfs. Only give us seed, so that we can survive and not die, and the land not revert to desert," which it actually did anyway. That's something that in geology you can go and check that out, and how that actually did happen, on how some of the deserts happened in Egypt. Thus Joseph acquired all the land in Egypt for Pharaoh, since one by one the Egyptians sold their fields. Oh, you know what? Again, so the Egyptians sold their fields. So hard pressed were they by the famine, and the whole country passed into Pharaoh's possession, while the people he reduced to serve them from one end of Egypt to the other. The only land he did not acquire belonged to the priests, for the priests received an allowance from Pharaoh and lived on the allowance that Pharaoh gave them. Hence, they had no need to sell their land. That's interesting. What happened here? So the Egyptians too. Okay, this is an odd one. I don't know how. I mean, the Pharaoh already is the Pharaoh of Egypt. It's already all his. So now he owns it all and everything. This is an interesting story, if it is true, okay, or on how one acquires and acquires and acquires through the hardship of others, right? In a way, it has to be an exchange of something. And you get so desperate that you will sell your body, right? Because there's no other way given anymore. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, don't you think? And why would Joseph do that? What was the purpose of that? What exactly was the purpose of that? That Joseph was doing it in this way, to stay in the good graces of the Pharaoh, to keep his people safe in a way. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not quite getting this. What I do understand is on how it sounds really greedy to me in a way, right? Yeah. When you have so much. When I used to go pick herbs and all this. This it was all given. It's all growing out there on its own. This all I had to do is just pick it at certain times, and then kind of prepare it either for tea or tinctures, or whatever. And it was really, except for when I had to put some money into it, you at least would like to break even, right? Because then otherwise, if you run out, then you can't make it anymore, right? But when it came to certain other things, just gave them away. I couldn't. It felt wrong to ask for money. Uh, yeah. Now I might have taken some, but I like this something else, a trade, right? Oh, you got this soap you just made, or this or that. How about we trade, right? And certain other things. But when it came to money, I always felt I shouldn't be asking. I should not. I do not want money in return because I've been so blessed, and being able to do this, and the blessing should be freely given. You see, I know, right? Yes, what an odd way to think. I'm not good for the economy. I'm telling you, not good at all. Well, anyway, so this is an interesting story right here. I mean, well, I guess, okay, let's keep reading. Huh? Then Joseph said to the people, "This is how we stand. I have bought you out." Oh, I guess now it comes. "With your land on Pharaoh's behalf. Here is seed for you to sow the land. But of the harvest, tithing, you must give a fifth to Pharaoh. The other 4/5 you can have for sowing your fields, to provide food for yourselves and your households, and food for your children." Well, isn't that interesting? On how, oh, well, there you go. This is how it's done. Why didn't the good Pharaoh go out and sow his own stuff? Well, anyway, because, okay. "You have saved our lives," they replied. "If it please my lord, we will become serfs to Pharaoh." So Joseph made a law, still in force today, as regards the soil of Egypt, that 1/5 should go to Pharaoh. Only the land of the priests did not go to Pharaoh. All right, so here it is. Property taxes, you guys. We got Joseph to blame for them. That's what I just figured out. Okay. It's sad to see, you see, again, okay, when is this, if I've heard this so many times. People get older, they have their own homestead or home, and suddenly something happens. You get sick, this, that. You're overwhelmed with bills, and you end up losing your home because you can't pay the property taxes. And it takes a long time. It takes several years before actually the government will step in. If they find you, I guess they do, and they'll take it from you. As you've worked all your life, this, that, now you're older, you're overwhelmed with being older, maybe sick, and you can't pay the taxes. Okay, where's your family? Okay, all right. So one has to just work together, make sure the parents don't lose their home. Something like that. Right, I get that too, yet. It's one of these things. It's like, okay, this is the beginning of a certain type of civilization. I'm not sure if this was the right way to go, but this is how it went. I thought about that yesterday. Well, let's finish reading. Maybe I'll forget about it and it doesn't need to be mentioned. Jacob's last wishes. Thus Israel settled in Egypt in the region of Goshen. They acquired property there. They were fruitful and grew very numerous. So Joseph only took from the Egyptians? Well, they came and they didn't have any property. They were just allowed to stay there. Okay, all right. And then I guess they acquired property there. I thought it all belonged to the Pharaoh now. Huh? Interesting. Oh, wait. No, I'm not getting it. Okay, missing some things here. I don't know. Or. Okay, all right. Don't go that far, Danielle. Jacob lived 17 years in Egypt. Thus Jacob's total age came to 147 years. When Israel's time to die drew near, he sent for his son Joseph and said to him, "If you really love me, place your hand under my thigh as pledge that you will act with faithful love towards me." Oh, we've had this one before. That place your hand under my thigh as a pledge. Under my thigh. I wonder what that means. Must mean something. As a pledge that you will act with faithful love towards me. Do not bury me in Egypt. Oh. When I lie down with my ancestors, carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their tomb. I shall do as you say, he replied. Swear to me, he insisted. So he swore to him, and Israel sank back on the pillow. That's the end of 47. So, interesting. Aha. Gotcha. One could say it like to overanalyze things, right? Do it? Yeah. One could say that, wow, this is still on your mind, right? This, not. Is it? I saw a video yesterday of, I don't know, it just popped up, going, oh, like that looks interesting. 10 things that very intelligent, above intelligent, very intelligent people do. And they came up, so psychiatrists analyzing smart people. So I started listening, and I could go to about half of them going, I'm not listening to the rest. This is a bunch of poo-hoo. Okay, this is like the supposed problems that very intelligent people have. Okay, there were problems. There were, and it's like, no. Any very smart person who listens to that video goes, oh, okay. I'm sorry. What? Basically, what it came down to in the first half, and I have no doubt the other half was the same, if you're a really smart and intelligent person, you got problems. So it's almost as if it's better if you're not. Not only that, but if you're a very intelligent, smart person, you have psychological problems. You have mental disabilities. Also, supposedly, that can turn into mental disabilities. All right, really? So, yep, mental health for people who are really smart, really intelligent, this now. And I'm assuming when they are, really great in math or really great. Okay, so let's go and have. I thought, I'm going to go and look up really smart people and see if any of this that they said about them is actually. And I thought of a few right on top of my head, and I'm going, well, no, that didn't happen to them. None of them. So it's like this video that psychiatrists made of they just called them very intelligent, smart people, okay, who excel in certain things. They, I don't know, did they take Van Gogh as an example? Okay, which, by the way, he was just, okay, that's a different story, but still, who did they take as examples for that? In any case, it's like, no, it's almost as if, if you now, there's a video out, if you come across a really intelligent, smart person, they're in a way really dumb, okay? They got problems. That kind of dumbed down their intelligence. That's what they say. That's how it was presented in a way. And I'm looking and going, oh, I'm sure smart people, there might be, okay, then they're not that smart. Intelligent people who look at this and go, oh, yeah, that sounds like me. Oh, yeah. Instead of, like I did, go, I don't think so. That's not how it is. That doesn't even make sense. It's like the whole video isn't just full of fallible sentences. The whole video is a fallible video when it comes to the theme that they theorize about. I just cracked up. I said after the first half, I said, man, I'm not listening anymore. This is just dumb. Anywho, so there it is. Beware. What am I trying to tell you? Beware when you listen to other people out there about yourself. There's a good one that I did see. Last one here. It was like a puzzle with all different letters, and it says the first 4 words that you can read out of this will be your guide kind of in 2023. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Let's do that. So I went and looked. The first one was lesson. Ooh, right away I thought of the Bible videos, right? Oh yeah, yes, yeah, good reminder. The next one was connection. Oh, yes, absolutely. Goes right along with the lesson. What am I trying to do? Share connections to God. How they have been established. How one can establish a connection to God. And how God can connect to you. Great. Next one, power. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Even when things go a little rough, believe in yourself. Know the power that you have to work for God. Know it. And how much power He has to help you. Right? The last one was strength. Our bodies, when we get older, might become a little weaker, this and that. But, all them songs, where I'm still 21 or this or that, right? Where, in our mind, I often think about things and I'm going, and it's already all done, right? And then I know, I said, now I have to do it, right? And no, it's going to be a lot slower than my mind has already all figured it out, right? What I need is a big crew here that I can just sit in my chair here and direct everyone on what to do, right? Does that work out? I know that when I do things myself, they always come out exactly, not always, but they come out in a way. When I look, yep, this is exactly how my heart to mind, in a way, presented itself first, and then I went into action, and I am satisfied, right? Yes? Oh, I'm not a perfectionist. That's another thing that came up. Perfectionism. I'm going, most very intelligent, smart people are not perfectionists. They're not. They just enjoy. I enjoy when things are just that. Just even if it's just when I'm done cleaning down here, this, that, everything's washed. I just enjoy looking at my work. 5 minutes later, the dirty dogs tramped through the house, this, that, and going, well, it lasted for 5 minutes. Good enough. You see? Yes? Okay. It's again our mindset. And that's the strength too. To fight things that you just can't fight. Okay? That's not worth your strength. Your strength is when you can look and go, all right. Oh, alrighty then. Where your heart to mind stays focused on what is important rather than what doesn't run right or well, or what just invaded my space again, or this or that, right? Yes? Kind of get that? Yeah. Doesn't have much to do with the story in a way, and yet it does. I've lived my life, and that's what my mom taught me. Definitely my mom taught me that. You give the best of what you have, not the least, number one. The other thing, when you go someplace else, or even in your home, when you go someplace else, especially, don't matter where it's at, you leave things better than you found them, if that's possible, right? And the other one, give freely. Give freely because there's always more coming. When you are in the hands of God, He has the whole hand in his world. And if you're in the hands of God, you don't have to worry, even through rough times. That's strength right there as well. Yes, easy to say when you're sitting in a robe in a nice warm house. Don't even have a fire. It's raining. It's been raining, which is great for our spring. We really need the rain. Nope, not praying for it. And of course, the worry is there. This was a lot of rain again. Is there flooding going to be again? Probably not as bad as we had it, but it's not going to quit raining for another 2 or 3 days here. A little bit worried for others. Right there. To have the strength, to keep having the strength, to be a selfless being on this world. Yeah? Selfless doesn't mean you have to suffer and give in to everything or this. That's not what it is. Yeah? Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to share this morning. So, someone saw my snowman and snow mushrooms and said, "Oh, can you make me a couple this, that?" And I said, "Oh, sure, why not?" So I'm going to make those and one for him too. I already know he's going to want to pay me and going to say, "You do enough around here." There's no way. This is a thank you from me to you. And Merry Christmas. Oh, one more. Okay, I'm going to mention that. I don't know. What did that story inspire? It irked something in me. Nope, I'm not going to mention that. It's not. Nope. No. Now I feel like I'm going to give in to something I don't need to give in to. And I don't need to discuss it. It is what it is. But maybe you guys already know after what I just said before. Well, in any case, that's what I wanted to share. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. And I will talk to you all another time.